First of all, let's talk about something is coming to an inevitable end. And I feel like a lot of you know this. There's no going back from this situation. We do have the Tower in the reverse as well as the Three of Pentacles. Okay. So this is a collaborative group situation. It could be a significant relationship. And you have to, I feel like there is a house situation or an estate type of entanglement here, or some type of a work situation that has gone awry. And as a result of it, you and your significant other, you or whoever it is you're involved with, is seeking counsel, and the whole process is getting dragged on and it is taking so long, and you just want to be done with it. You just want to move on. And there's some situation, there's a lot of stalled energy associated with this. And especially if you have implemented this during the Mercury in retrograde, all of the energy there, like the blockages are coming back through and not letting you move on. And for a lot of you too, there might be multiple rounds of negotiations as to who gets what, if it's like a divorce and you're dividing up your assets, or if it's like a teaching or some type of collaborative situation. A lot of people are involved, so it seems like very, very slow. It seems like it's going to take some time, and I don't feel it's going to get resolved this month. Okay, we are ending up with the Judgment card, and the Judgment card is new beginnings, and it's in the reverse position. So there's something that you're being very, very stubborn about, and you're not pushing this process along, is what I'm sensing. If you are dealing with an air sign, if you're dealing with an air sign, well, whoever you're dealing with, you or the other person are both being extremely stubborn. You're not seeing eye to eyes, and you're not progressing or moving this along, with one another. So the point here is, I feel there's a lot of resentment. There's a lot of hostility. There's a lot of secrets. So if you're in a divorce situation, for example, I feel like you or your partner might be hiding your assets. You might, for example, have purchased a house for a mistress, just an example, and that was never declared. So you're kind of like hiding the paperwork. And I feel like some type of paperwork is being hidden, mainly to, it's like someone is hiding something. So we do start out with the High Priestess, and the High Priestess is about concealment. Okay, this is a very spiritual card, and it deals with a person that can be very nurturing at her best, very, very caring. When it's in the reverse position, it deals with manipulation. And I've often seen this when people show up and they're not operating at their best, where they're capable of being so sweet and so kind, but when they're in the reverse position, they can be very, very manipulative. They can be withholding the truth. They could be distorting fact from fiction, and it just threw you off because that's not their normal self. So this is a month in which your intuition as well is steering you in the wrong direction. So I do feel in this situation, something is telling you, oh, you don't have all the information, and, don't be stubborn about this. Don't drag your feet, act, get it over with, and move forward. And I feel like for a lot of you, it's going to end, and you're dragging your feet mainly because you're afraid of what's going to come after. You're afraid of the full disclosure. You're afraid of information coming to light. And because of it, you're really, really just, kind of like being dragged out of the door, and your nails are like scratching at the floorboards. It's one of those situations, you're not moving. No one is really budging in their position. So all the people that you're dealing with are just not operating at their best right now. So the major realization that is coming through is that for a lot of you, you realize that it is a huge, huge financial loss if no one cooperates, if no one wants to be the bigger person. You feel that nothing is going to get done. So it's kind of like this situation, you have three people. You have three court cards. So you, yourself, an air sign, which is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, And then you have a water sign, which is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. So three people are involved in this situation and they're dilly-dallying, and none of these things of values are being built upon. Okay, so it's sort of like they're not being colored in, they're not being filled in. And there is definitely lack of information coming from all parties because somebody is concealing information. And there is definitely a lot of resentment, and I feel lack of trust. Lack of trust is greatly indicated in this situation. And I feel like it's some situation that involves a lawyer, a consultant, or like a mediator. And I feel like you need a mediator in this situation, but no one is stepping in to help you. So it's pretty much a stalemate, is what I'm sensing here. So you have some type of, you have some type of just very stuck energy. And the way for you to release that is this situation is over. So just move on from it, okay? If there's anything you can do that will, I guess, if there's anything you can do from your end, personally, just from your end, is I would say if you've been holding back on some information, let it out. If you have been thinking about, I feel like if you have been the one dragging your feet and the one being stubborn, just get out of it, okay? Because it's going to be better for you to get out now, cut your losses, rather than drag this on. Because I feel like not only are all of you taking a financial loss, with the days dragging on, there's also a situation where the hostility, the resentment is going to start to fester, is what I'm sensing. We have the devil here as well. So I feel like the only outlet is for you to step up and to move the situation along in a more fruitful manner. And then the other two people will start to cooperate. Okay, so that's my advice here. So Virgo, unfortunately, you are going to have to step up in this situation. I know it's frustrating. But I feel like everyone else that you're dealing with, you're the most emotionally stable and mature, because I feel that, you're the king energy. One is a knight, one's a queen. And if we're looking at this in progression, you are probably in the best position to make this move, okay? And to you set an example through your actions. And in the process, the other people will start to come around, and this situation will come together in a very favorable way. So, don't just set an example for others to follow. I feel like that's the best way to do it. So, the best advice, I guess, that I can say is you're going back to something and it's not working out, and it's not going to work out. It's not going to work out. And because you're going back to it, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your resources, you're wasting your energy. And I feel as well that you're delaying the inevitable. And I feel like a lot of you are scared about the changes, okay? And it has nothing to do with being emotionally tied to another person. I don't feel that at all. I don't feel like it's an emotional month for you. And I don't feel that you are emotionally tied to anybody in this situation. So it's not about hurting people's feelings. It's about being scared of the next phase in your life, of having to do things on your own, or even of having to make necessary changes and, admitting that, okay, things failed. I failed, or this relationship failed. I couldn't fix it. So a lot of you are just at that point where you want to be the fixer. If there's a problem, there has to be a solution. And when you're dealing with different people, and if you're confronted with, just the whole learning process about human nature, understanding karma, understanding life lessons, understanding the metaphysical aspects of the world, you start to realize that even with the best intentions, things sometimes have to fall apart so that better things come together. So I feel that for a lot of you, you have to shift your thinking. This isn't about you. This isn't about, fixing things. This isn't about putting your all in and expecting things to magically click into place and working. This is something that is greater than ourselves. So take yourself out of the equation and just realize that, this is the natural progression of things. This is the universe coming in to make the situation better. So problematic events, elements have to be unraveled so that, people can rebuild, and then new things can come as a result of it, okay? So don't be afraid of the new things. Don't be afraid of new phases in your life and transitions, because I feel like a lot of you are so nervous about it. And it just doesn't make sense to be nervous. New things bring new opportunities. All right. So if it is a work situation, I feel that something much better is going to come through for you, where you have more training, where you're upgrading your skills, you're possibly collaborating with a lot of other people and to build something of great value. So I do feel if it's a work situation that has recently ended and you're kind of scared now to look for new jobs, I do feel if an offer for work is going to come in and it has a lot of potential for you to upgrade your skills, your knowledge, and for you to even reach out and collaborate with other, and to, have a lot of financial stability as a result of it. So don't be afraid. You're kicking old habits. So I feel that this is very, very good for you. I do feel as well, I'm not going to skirt around this issue, but this is the gossip card. And I mentioned for the mid-month reading last month that I haven't seen the gossip card for you guys since 6 months ago, but it's coming back again. And we have 3 people here that signifies the gossip card. And we also have 3 people in your environment. 3 people in your environment. So let's just say that, this deals usually with infidelity as well, with the 3 of Cups. It's social dating, dating multiple people, seeing multiple people, and there's some type of secret being concealed with the High Priestess. So something for you to be very careful about, because I feel like you're dealing with this very early on in the month. So it indicates to me there might be residual energy coming in from January, where you're starting to get some realization that things are going, you have like hunches and your intuition is kicking in, but for some reason I feel like it has been swept under the rug, because you would rather, I feel like it has been swept under the rug mainly because you want to continue with the status quo even though you're not happy. So Virgos, is really important for you to pursue paths that will lead to a happier outcome, okay? I don't feel that this situation is going anywhere and you have the ability to get out of it, but I feel like you're not going to do it. So what's the point here? So I feel like there is some secrecy regarding a third party if it's concerning a love, marriage type of situation, and you're dealing with resentment and hostilities. I feel that greatly. For a lot of you, it's resentment, hostilities. It's like negative feelings, like very, very negative feelings coming through here, mutually. I feel like either from you or from the other party, but there's just, people are just not operating at their best this month. I'm sorry about that. If you are dating, if you're single and you're not dealing with this, energy, and you're dating, you have some great prospects. You have some great prospects, but I do feel that for some reason there are, interference coming through from your external environment that's not allowing you to adequately date. So I don't feel that, so for example, you go to the bar and you meet somebody who is very, very nice, possibly another earth sign, air sign, or water sign. And then you realize, oh, my cousin dated that person, so it would be weird for me to date them. Something like that. It feels like something in your environment is creating a lot of blockages as well. And you might, for example, date someone, and I mentioned this last month too. You might have your eyes on someone, possibly an air sign, or somebody is showing interest in you, possibly an air sign. Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, and you realize that, oh, I'm not ready to date yet. I just came from this troublesome situation and I'm not whole yet. So I can't take you up on your offer right now. And it's a very fast moving energy. So I do feel that there's a lot of emotional investment here, but they might come and go. So they might not wait around for you to be ready. So I just want you to keep that in mind. There's nothing wrong with that. Take the time you need to heal. And if they're meant to be, they will be there for you. But I feel like, things are not really getting off the ground on the romance front for this month for a lot of you. Financially, things are looking good. By the end of this month, things will start to clear up financially. In terms of relationship, it is very, very rocky for a lot of you. There's like external influences affecting your environment. We have like gossip, we have secrets being concealed, possibly you concealing some secrets to protect other people. So I'm sensing that for a lot of you, there might be, dating on the work front that you're not supposed to, and then you're concealing this secret to protect somebody else, and somebody like another coworker might know some things, and it's just a lot of energy circulating around you where words are being spread and you just want out of it. I feel like you're frustrated for this month, Virgos. I'm very sorry to get this, but I do feel for those of you who are not dealing with this, the work environment itself requires a lot of collaboration, and it's I feel like you might be thrust in the limelight and you're not used to that as well. So you're working under the mandates of somebody else, and you prefer that, but then when it comes to the last minute, you realize that, oh, I have to be the one to present, and you get thrown off. So I feel like a lot of you are not prepared for that. If you are, just try to plan this out, and I feel like it's important for you to discuss these things before they happen, okay? So it's really, really important for you to move on for this month. If you are in any type of position where you can, tie up loose ends and just move on with your life, don't hesitate. Just get out of there. So you have the ability, we do have free will. You have the ability to mitigate the effects of everything that's happening here. If it's within your power, do it. But I feel like a lot of you are not doing it, mainly because of, that sense of, stagnancy, that sense of fear, and lack of momentum in general. But I feel like if you can do it, get out of it as early as like the 5th of February to prevent some kind of a stuck energy that will, keep you very, very frustrated for the last 3 weeks, okay? If you can, please do that. I definitely see some flirtation on the work front, flirtations outside of the marriage situation, some stuff getting revealed where I feel like some things getting revealed. So, don't do anything you're not supposed to, but I feel that either way, there's some flirtation, there's some type of a threesome energy. And if it's in a work environment, be very, very careful, because I feel like your work environment is heavily affected as well. If there is that, shenanigans going on in the work environment, dating coworkers and people you're not supposed to. So there's some type of a major revelation. And as a result of it, it is going to be very difficult for you to get out of this with your reputation intact. Okay. So the King of Pentacles, this is representative of you. And it is a very, very, status conscious, financially stable person. This is the energy you're bringing to the table. So I feel like this month is a major, major booster for your status, for your financial stability. So, but with all these heavy, dark energy, I feel like it can go either way. If you have been honorable, then it will boost your status and your public image. If you have been doing things that you're not supposed to, I do feel, especially for a lot of Virgo men, if you self-identify as a Virgo male, I feel that there are some major, major energies coming in to affect you very negatively when it comes to your public image. So you have the ability, I feel, to get out of this by the 5th, okay, to save your image and to do things a little bit differently. But by the 5th, that's pretty much the last end of it. So I feel like anything that's pretty much after, you're going to be stuck, okay? So try to get out of whatever situation you're in that you're not supposed to by the 5th, and just close that chapter in your life and move on, because you're very stuck here, and all these dark cards are not helping either. So Virgos, keep me posted, and I'm going to come back on February to see what's going on for you guys for Valentine's Day and also for the mid-month. I hope this energy will clear up, okay? So romantically, things are looking good. If you're, out there single, dating, and not attached, things are looking good. But you want to be very clear that you're not concealing anything, or other people are not concealing information from you. Any relationship that starts this month has a lot of problems. Anything new that starts this month has a lot of problems. So take it very, very slow, and don't expect, miracles happening overnight. Okay. It's a long process, I feel. I do feel though, for those of you who are trying to end a situation, I just want you to know you don't owe the other person anything. You don't owe anybody anything. If you need to get out of a situation to preserve your sense of sanity and for your own mental health, that is reason enough in itself, and you don't have to justify it to anybody. So just get out by the 5th, okay?